everyone, today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my favorites from the month of January. January was a crazy, exciting, really awesome month. Lots of wedding planning was accomplished, and it's been good. And I, again, appreciate all you guys' support. It's so much fun, like, being in this time where everybody's just generally really happy for you. Like, that's just a good feeling. And I appreciate all those warm thoughts and all the great wishes you guys have been sending our way. But we're going to be talking about favorites from the month. I have a good amount of rediscovered and new products because, as you guys may know, sometime in January I went on kind of a makeup shopping spree. I did do a haul. You can go watch that video if you want to see my initial reactions to some of these products. But some of these products too are products that I've had in my collection for a while that I've rediscovered, repurchases that I am now remembering how much I love, etc. Most of this is just makeup. My hair care routine really hasn't changed at all in the past, I don't even know how long, and my skincare routine has changed, but not really, and I'll explain it here in a little bit because I do have a skincare product to show you guys. But let's just jump in with the makeup. The first thing I need to talk to you about is this bad boy right here. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. I'm sure you guys have all seen this and you guys all know what this is. This is an incredible foundation if you are struggling with breakouts, if you have a lot of stuff that you need to cover, but you don't want something that's going to be so matte and super drying on the skin. I think what is so great about Estee Lauder Double Wear, for me at least, is that it gives me that full coverage and that semi-matte kind of look, but it doesn't dry my skin out like a lot of long wearing / full coverage foundations usually do. So it kind of is like that perfect full coverage foundation. And if you have not given this a try, highly recommend that you do. One thing I do notice with this is it does change colors a little bit throughout the day. It maybe just gets the tiniest bit darker, and I have seen other reviews where people say that since they've reformulated this, it does oxidize slightly. It's not huge, but I would keep that in mind when you are trying to color match yourself, that you might want to pick a shade that's a little bit more, you know, just maybe a tad bit lighter, just to help compromise for how this oxidizes a little bit. But the coverage is beautiful. The finish is beautiful. Everything about this foundation is great. For being such a long-wearing full coverage foundation, it doesn't break me out too much. And this has just been a savior for me this month because, as I will explain here in a little bit, my skin has been awful for the past 3 or 4 months. It's been so bad, and it really peaked towards the end of December. No, I would say probably just like the whole month of December was awful. Now, since I've started to do some different stuff with my skincare, it's starting to get a lot better, but I had a lot of scarring. I still have a lot of scarring, and so I need something to cover that, and this is it. By the way, I'm in the shade 1W1, which is called Bone. Hopefully that's focusing in there. There we go. And it's a perfect match, a great yellow toned light kind of foundation that works really well. So love that stuff. Maybe I should have mentioned this first. I do have a primer that I've been loving to use in conjunction with that, as well as just in conjunction with all my other foundations I might have been using throughout the month. This is the Maybelline Master Prime. This is in the Blur Plus Redness Control formulation. Maybelline recently released these Master Prime primers, as well as the Master Concealers, which I'll talk about here in a second. And this is such a good drugstore primer. I have a really hard time finding primers from the drugstore that work well. I do like the Rimmel, what is it, Fix and Perfect Pro. That's a pretty good one. But for the most part, drugstore primers just don't hit it right. They're just kind of either like a moisturizer / nothing that you put on your face. I mean, I find that most of the time they just don't really do anything, and I really find that this does something. As far as the redness control, I don't know how great it is at that. It's a very light green tone, to the point where when you, honestly, if you guys want to see the cap there, it's barely green. Like, it's more of like a white with a green undertone that when you put it on, it ultimately just goes on clear, and you don't really get a whole lot of redness control from it. But it really does help to keep my skin, you know, a little less oily throughout the day, but it's not drying. It's not like your typical silicone based or like Benefit Professional where it's really going to matte out the skin. Just kind of helps a little bit in the oil control department, but what this does so beautifully is it keeps your foundation in place. It keeps your foundation from slipping around, and it really just makes your foundation look fresh all day, and that's what I love about it. It's so great. The texture of it is wonderful. It's just a really good primer, and I think for the It's like 9 or 10 bucks. It is incredible. So highly, highly recommend it. For me, my Holy Grail primer forever has been the, gosh, what is it? Makeup Forever HD primer. And I really find this to be comparable. It's just slightly thicker, but as for its capabilities and what it does, very much the same. So highly recommend this. And while we're at it, let's just talk about the Master Concealer. This again is from Maybelline and it is a new release. I got mine in the shade Light. Perfect shade match for me. I love that this is, again, a yellowy toned product. I find that so much stuff from the drugstore is so pink. Foundations, concealers, everything I think is just very pink in tone or very beige. So it's either more on the orange side or more on the pink side, but those true kind of yellow tones are very rare to come by. At least if you're kind of like on my shade end of the spectrum. I think sometimes those darker medium tones definitely have more yellow base to them, but fairer complexions, a lot of people just assume that we're going to be pink, which isn't always true. So love that this is nice and yellow toned. This is just fantastic. It's got a great consistency to it. Not too thick, not too thin. I wouldn't say it's necessarily super moisturizing, but when I put it over spots, it doesn't go super dry. I can also wear this underneath my eyes and it looks great. And it's just one of those concealers that no matter where you put it on the face, it's gonna look good. It's not only gonna look good on spots and it's not only gonna look good on under eye circles, it looks good on both. The coverage is very, very nice. I would give it, as far as like concealers go, a solid medium coverage. It might not be the fullest coverage concealer out there, but it definitely does a great job, and honestly, for what I've been needing it for, it works. So love it, love it, love it. The shade, like I said, is perfect. The consistency is great, and overall, it's just a real winner. Next, I want to talk to you guys about an eyeshadow product. This is the Lorac Unzipped palette. Oh, and no, this isn't the Lorac Unzipped Gold. I don't know if I'm going to buy that or not. Lorac has this way of like always pulling me in. As much as I try to resist and as hard as I try to resist, I always end up caving in and buying all of their eyeshadow palettes because their formulation is just so incredible, and they are by far my favorite eyeshadows ever. I just think that they are so smooth and buttery and pigmented and long wearing. Everything you want in eyeshadow, and this palette is gorgeous. I really wish I was wearing it today, but I'm not. But I have been wearing it almost every single other day since I've purchased it. I don't know why I thought I didn't need this, but it's beautiful. I love how it's neutrals, but it's not boring. You do have so many rosy tones that it just adds a little bit of something to your look without going overboard. This maroon shade here, Unbridled, oh my god, is to die for. I also love this shade called Unbelievable, kind of a true rose gold, very pretty. I love these matte shades. I mean, I've played with everything in here and it's just a great palette, and I would highly recommend it. If you're even like me and you're like, I don't need this, I have so many neutral palettes, no, this is one that you need because the colors are just very unique for neutrals, and there's so many different looks you can do with this, so definitely a favorite. The next product that I have here is a mascara that I recently purchased, and it's kind of been like a bit of a rediscovery for me. I got this over, well, I guess I didn't recently purchase it. I purchased it over Black Friday, but I just recently opened it because I was going through some other mascaras at the time. This is the Tarte's Lights Camera Lashes Mascara. This is a mascara I used forever ago, and I loved it, but then I tried other products, and I just kept on trying other products, and when it went on sale during Black Friday at Ulta, I just wanted to get it again because I remember really liking it, and I still do. I really like it. It's one of those mascaras that I can wear one coat of and I feel like it's enough. I don't feel like I have to layer and layer and layer just because one coat does such a dramatic difference. I love the brush on this. I love the traditional bristles because I'm not big into plastic bristles. I like that the wand is also small. It's not gigantic. It's not one of those wands where you feel like it takes up your entire eye and you're getting it all over the place. So it's very easy to maneuver. The formulation itself is very, very nice. Nicely volumizing, nicely lengthening. Kind of does everything you want it to do. It doesn't clump up on me. I notice it does flake a little tiny bit throughout the day. Anything that's that big of a deal. It's, you know, definitely worth it considering how this makes your lashes look. And I know a lot of people really like this, so if you are looking for a new mascara and you haven't given this one a try, definitely give it a try. It is a great, great, great mascara, and it just works for so many different people with so many different types of lashes. An eyeliner rediscovery, which I'm just going to touch on this briefly because last year I talked about this eyeliner so much. This is the L'Oreal, the Super Slim eyeliner. I am a sucker for felt tip black eyeliners. I love them. They're my favorite form of eyeliner because they're quick, they're easy. Most of the time they're pretty long wearing and they're just foolproof for me. And this is just one that I've gone back to now a couple of times and I just love it. It's a very, very black formulation. The tip on this itself is very nice and fine, easy to do a wing with, easy just to use and control. And the look you get from it is really nice. It doesn't dry super shiny. It doesn't dry like super matte either. It's just kind of somewhere in between. But the finish is pretty and I just like the way that it works. And I think it's just, you know, a good overall black felt tip liquid eyeliner pen. Just definitely one of the best you can find from the drugstore. And I definitely would not spend a lot of money on a black felt tip liquid eyeliner pen. I've tried the Stila one, I've tried higher end ones, and while they are good, the drugstore ones are seriously just as good. And if that's a format of eyeliner that you like and you haven't given this one a try, definitely do so. You will not be disappointed. Finally, for makeup, I just want to talk about two different lip products that I have here. The first one is kind of a newer product. This is the Maybelline matte lipstick in the shade Lust for Blush. I love this lipstick. I'm wearing it right now. It's kind of faded off a little bit because I've eaten lunch and drank and done the whole thing. But this has been on since 8 o'clock this morning and it's now almost 3. Yeah, it's 2:48. So considering that I've only touched this up once and I still have this amount of color, I think that's really good. These lipsticks are very long wearing and they're just beautiful. The finishes are they're just the perfect looking matte. They're not very drying on the lip, so it's not like you can see every single crack and every single chap that your lip has, but they still do leave behind that kind of powdery, beautiful matte finish that a lot of us really like. And so if you haven't given one of these Maybelline matte lipsticks a try, cannot recommend that you do it enough. They are just, I mean, the creamy matte name, it's totally correct because they're so moisturizing, yet they leave that matte finish, and the colors are just gorgeous. And this color in particular, I just can't get enough of it. It's that perfect kind of violet-y, pinky color, and I think it's so pretty for spring as we go into the spring season. So definitely give this guy a try. It is great. And a lip gloss that I'd like to pair on top of that, and a lip gloss that I've actually just been using a lot throughout the month, is the NYX Mega Shine Lip Gloss in the shade Beige, which, as we all know, is very pink toned. I remember on YouTube years ago when this was like all the rage, and everybody was all about the Beige NYX Mega Shine Lip Gloss. And of course, I gave into it and I purchased it, and I honestly didn't use it a whole lot. Like, I didn't really see what the hype was, and I still don't think it's like the best lip gloss out there. There's definitely better formulations, but the color is really pretty. It's a beautiful pink, and over top of, you know, any lipsticks like this or any sort of pink tone lipsticks in general, it just looks really nice. It just flatters many different shades of pink and many different pinks that have different undertones. So if you haven't given NYX Beige a try and you're kind of a pink lip wearer, would really recommend it. Even for somebody like me, I rarely ever wear pink lipstick or pink lip gloss. I still really like this one. So like I said, not the best in formulation, kind of has a weird smell, doesn't last super long, but the color is really good. So and the price is really good too. So it's kind of one of those lip glosses that you can justify paying for just the color. And very finally, I want to give you guys a little skincare update and what I've been using to help combat my awful skin. So somewhere in October, I don't even know when it was, I started to get a lot of breakouts, and they were just kind of the painful under the skin breakouts. So I just associated them with hormonal stuff. I figured it was either stress or maybe just that time of the month. And October passed and it didn't get better. November came and I was like, you know, still whatever, what am I gonna do? It'll go away. November passed, still wasn't getting better. If anything, it was only getting worse. So by December, I was so fed up with it. My skin was just awful. I had these large, like I said, just under the skin, painful breakouts all along my cheeks. And that's all where it's been, just my cheeks, not my forehead, chin, nose area, nothing, just on my cheeks. And so I went through different detoxes. I cleaned my pillowcases like each night, disinfected my phone like 4 times a day. I mean, I was crazy, and I made sure I wasn't touching my face. I've always been super diligent about washing washing my face at night. I can't tell you the last time I haven't washed my makeup off. And so I was doing everything I was supposed to do, and I know my skincare routine is fantastic because it's worked for me for years, and I knew the products were expired. I knew everything I was doing was good. For some reason, my skin was just awful. And so at the beginning of January, I was like, you know what, I'm done with this. So I went to the dermatologist, I got put on some acne medication, and they prescribed me Epiduo, which is a product that I've seen all over TV. I mean, there's commercials for this all the time. So I was familiar with it in a sense, and this has helped my skin so much. If you guys are maybe having similar issues, or maybe if you just struggle a lot with acne, definitely give this a try if you haven't already. I mean, I'm sure it's kind of dermatologist like first go-to, so many of you may have tried this. Maybe it doesn't work for you, but for me, it has worked great. I'm really starting to notice my acne going down. The great thing is I'm not getting any new breakouts. Like I said, I'm just dealing with the scarring and some of those post kind of acne stuff, but no new breakouts. I haven't gotten one new breakout for like 3 weeks now, we'll knock on wood, because I do not want another one, and it's just been great. And I'm sure it's a combination of the pills in this. Usually what I do is on the days that I take a pill, I won't use this, and on the days that I don't take a pill, I will use this. So I kind of alternate it, because if I do both, it dries out my skin like crazy. But just alternating it works really well. Keeps my skin looking really nice and clear, and this is just so great. It's not very harsh on my skin, doesn't make my skin super sensitive, doesn't dry it out too much. Like I said, I find that alternating schedule really works well for me, and I just really like it. And I am so happy that my skin is starting to get back to the way that it was, because I know I've had a couple of questions from you guys on my engagement video, like, what is wrong with your face? And I'm like, oh, I know, it looks awful. So great stuff. Very happy with this. And like I said, in conjunction, the Estee Lauder Double Wear has been great, because when my skin is a little bit more dry because of this acne fighting regimen, this doesn't accentuate it. So my skin is getting better. Thank God. Alright guys, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.